Management. Management. Management tasks. There are 5 management tasks that the agricultural manager must fulfill in respect of all the management activities, viz. Planning, organizing, commanding, coordination and control. Planning, reasons for planning. Change in resource patterns. The farmer can decide of his own free will or under duress to change the balance between resources. Workers can, for example, resign, become disabled or be fired. Capital items need to be replaced. The production process can be changed, for example, grazing is plowed over or land can be purchased. Change of technological and biological relationships. Technological development in the field of inputs. The production process or marketing needs replanning. Breeding of new breeds, embryo transplantation, new sprays and toxins, growth hormones and new fodder crops are examples of this. Change in prices. Prices of inputs, goods and services purchased as well as prices of products change over time. Prices rise in the long run due to changes in demand and / or supply, have cyclical movements over years and vary monthly, seasonally, within a year. Risks and uncertainties. Due to uncertainties that exist over the short and long term, there needs to be constant replanning. Yields and prices of livestock and crops vary from season to season and also between years due to factors, such as rainfall, over which the farmer has no control. Legal aspects, marketing aspects, and economic aspects also change over time. Steps in the decision-making process. Step 1. Decide what needs to be done regarding a need, problem or what needs to be achieved, usually more than one possibility, that is, formulate goals and objectives. Step 2. Observe, gather ideas and information, arrange the information. Step 3. Consider all variables that cannot be controlled, for example diseases, prices, weather conditions and machines that break. Step 4. Consider possible methods of action. After considering all alternatives, decide on the actions that must follow, for example, decide on a specific production direction in the farm. Step 5. Draw up a plan of action, for example, for a particular production direction. Step 6. Check and evaluate the plan so that possible shortcomings can be eliminated. Planning term interval and unit. Planning can be done on a daily or weekly basis, for routine tasks. Short term, up to 1 year. Medium term, 1 to 5 years, and long term, 5 to 10 years or longer. This term for which the planning is done is called the planning horizon. Benefits of good planning. Focus on the goals of a farm, and therefore the planner stays on course regarding the goals set by the farm. Set the standards according to which a task must be done. Lack of planning is detrimental to the smooth running of a farm. Planning helps to highlight inefficiencies in farming. Help the entrepreneur to spot opportunities and provide better insight into farming. Organization and coordination. Management occurs as soon as two individuals work together to achieve a particular goal or objective. This therefore means that there must be organization in order to order, systematize, and coordinate the actions of the two or more persons. Therefore, when goals/objectives have been formulated, decisions have been made and planned, there must be organization to achieve goals. Organization contains 3 elements: the identification and grouping of tasks, the transfer of certain authority, for example foreman, and responsibilities, for example to care for tractor, according to instructions, the identification of interrelationships of tasks so that coordination can take place. Organizing. The second management task is organizing. It involves 2 aspects: viz. organization of the enterprise, management activities, and organization of farming activities. Organization involves the analysis and grouping of farming activities and the determination of relationships between groups and individuals. Benefits of organization. Organization has the advantages that each person knows his obligations and responsibilities and he only keep himself busy with his own tasks, thus specializing. Management and control are facilitated by the farmer knowing what each one should do and holding their candidacy responsible for those tasks. Furthermore, it saves time by not having to make new tasks every day and supervision is therefore not divided. Command. Commanding has to do with persuading employees to perform the tasks and actively participate in achieving business goals. It therefore involves the aspect of human relations as well as the tasks associated with personnel management. Organization organogram. Organization organogram. Motivation/leadership. Human resources, training. Motivation, incentives. Delegation, creation of responsibilities. Communication, handling cases. Human resources. Good manager must gain the loyalty of the employees. This requires good leadership. Leaders need to motivate the workers working in their units to do their job well so that the goals of the farm can be achieved. Motivation. Motivation through training. The farmer must ensure that the workers are well trained. They must be trained in the basic skills of literacy and numeracy as well as specialized skills that every worker needs. Workers need to be trained to increase their productivity. It will also improve job satisfaction. Motivation through incentive. Motivation in the context of management style centers around reconciling the requirements of the individual with that of the organization. The most important task of the manager, farmer, is to motivate the employee to optimal work performance. Incentives that can improve the level of service delivery by every worker. Physical planning of the farm activities. Productivity can be increased by the judicious layout of the farm, e.g. by the placement of the buildings and facilities. Daily planning. Work done daily should be carefully planned taking into account available labor, skill levels of each worker, etc. Acceptable living conditions. One thinks here of good housing, a balanced diet, medical services, a good pension scheme, leave benefits, etc. Motivation through communication. Appreciate and give credit for work done. Person is proud of what he/she can do and will be proud and loyal to the farm where he/she works. Sincere interest in the worker as a human being. Delegation. Another psychological need is the urge for self-fulfillment or self-actualization. This is when one feels good about what you have achieved. This is when one has a sense of pride in the work you do. The farmer must delegate some of his tasks to senior and other laborers. It leads to development and a sense of I mean something. Control. Development of standards, steps in the process. Corrective measures. Benefits of good control, economical and productive. Control. By this is meant that all the tasks performed by employees are in accordance with both the requirements laid down by the entrepreneur and the instructions received from the entrepreneur. Control therefore requires the entrepreneur to plan, to give guidance, to organize, control activities, the accumulative nature of decision-making. State and explain the objectives/goals of the farm to the employees. Determine the standards of work performed, both qualitatively and quantitatively. To direct the actions of employees through personal example and training on the goal. To demand responsibility from its employees for their actions. Requirements for effective control. The system must be adaptable to the nature and need of the specific task. The system must ensure that any deviations or problems are brought to the attention of the entrepreneur as soon as possible. A system of control must be flexible, especially because circumstances can change so quickly. It must be economical in terms of time and money spent by the entrepreneur. The whole system must be clear and understandable to the employees. The system must result in corrective action in order to correct problems. Any disciplinary action must meet the following requirements to be effective. The employee must be aware that action will be taken against him if he commits a specific offense. It should not be directed against the employee, but against the offense. This must be done as soon as possible after the offense. Action must always be consistent. After disciplinary action against an employee, the relationship with the person should continue as normally as possible as if he had not committed the offense. Development of standards, steps in the process. If the yield of production factors has been monitored, the farmer, who is also the manager, must review the production plans. These plans need to be adapted if necessary and re-implemented with the debt to increase the efficiency of the farming system. The review of plans must be done against the set of production standards. Any disciplinary action must meet the following requirements to be effective. The employee must be aware that action will be taken against him if he commits a specific offense. It should not be directed against the employee, but against the offense. This must be done as soon as possible after the offense. Action must always be consistent. After disciplinary action against an employee, the relationship with the person should continue as normally as possible as if he had not committed the offense. Development of standards, steps in the process. If the yield of production factors has been monitored, the farmer, who is also the manager, must review the production plans. These plans need to be adapted if necessary and re-implemented with the debt to increase the efficiency of the farming system. The review of plans must be done against the set of production standards. Corrective measures. By measuring the yield of cultivated lands such as maize or wheat fields, the farmer is able to make two sets of comparisons. The farmer can compare the yields of different countries during the same season, e.g. lands in different places within the farm, lands where different cultivation methods have been applied. The farmer can compare the yield of the same land year after year. The equation will show improvements or weakening on yield results. A standard of production is obtained again. Change of standards and methods. A farmer can adapt the standard of production to conditions on that farm, or other methods can be applied to improve standards, e.g. increase/decrease fertilizer/hectare. Improvement of cultivar adaptability. Adapting pest/disease control program to be more effective. Benefits of good control: economical and productive. Control ensures that all tasks performed by the workers are in accordance with requirements as laid down by the manager, the standard S. Control required of the driver. That the aims and objectives of the farming activities be explained to the workers. That the standard of work is performed, determined and laid down, both quantitatively and qualitatively. The following benefits are expected from the system with a control system that fits a specific farm. Any deviation from planned activity will be brought to the attention of the farm management. Any problem that may occur in performing a task in the production process can get attention as soon as it arises. Time and money are saved through the prompt intervention of the manager, head of production line. Prompt intervention leads to timely measures to correct problems so that the production process is not interrupted. Coordination and evaluation. Coordination of steps in the process. Benefits of coordination. Coordination of labor, tasks, and machines. Coordination of steps in the process. Effective farm management depends on good coordination between production factors. There are 4 basic types of coordination: informal coordination, program coordination, negotiation coordination, and group coordination. Informal coordination. It happens voluntarily. It includes spontaneous interaction that keeps a farm's social processes going but is not directly part of task performance. Informal coordination is ongoing, but is not directly part of task execution. Program coordination. It becomes more important the bigger the farm. It involves establishing routines. Program coordination is particularly valuable in cases of subsequent interdependence. Negotiation coordination. This type of coordination is often present on large farms where coordination problem between production units is common. The individual in the negotiating position coordinates 2 or more independent units by acting as a common point of contact. 2 groups working on different production units can work through the negotiating person, who is familiar with both units. Group coordination. This happens when representatives of working groups formally meet. Committees are the best vehicle for the purpose. Group coordination is particularly appropriate in cases of subsequent interdependence. Benefits of coordination. The workers on the farm must be coordinated, in groups or individually. E.g., the distribution of the workload must be done over the 12 months of the year to prevent the bottleneck of labor needs tests such as when 2 or more crops have to be handled at the same time. Coordinating the capital available for the production inputs will ensure that the farm does not end up in a cash flow problem. E.g., is a potato crop that requires particularly high capital inputs, seed and fertilizer. Coordinating your production seasons will ensure that your liquidity is not compromised. Facilities in the form of tractors, implements, storage space, water pumps, etc. is available for all the different farming branches on a farm: sheep, crop, pig farming, etc. It is the responsibility of the farmer manager to coordinate the use of the facilities between the different crop production divisions. Example: harvesting of late fruit cultivars can coincide with planting of wheat when early rains fall in April, the winter rainy region. Coordination of labor, tasks, and machines. The natural resources will determine the specific production direction of a farm. In turn, the production direction will determine the farm's infrastructure. The infrastructure includes the access roads, electrical wiring, the buildings in relation to workflow, fences, irrigation pipes, pipelines, etc. The layout and type of buildings on a farm can only be decided upon after all factors affecting the farm as a production unit have been considered.